Hello and welcome back to another edition of AEW Dynamite Out of 10. This week's edition of Dynamite saw Dustin Rhodes take on Nick Camaredo in a bull rope match, whatever that is. The show also saw Dr. Britt Baker's title celebration after she won the championship at Double or Nothing. We also saw Sting and Darby Allin, and a big debut too. Starting off though with Young Bucks versus Pac and Penta El Zero. Nakazawa was at ringside, but he was attacked by Kazarian, who dubbed himself the Elite Hunter. The match started frantically as Pac and Penta launched themselves at the Young Bucks. The Death Triangle members traded tags as they worked over Matt Jackson. Nick Jackson tried to help his brother. Penta came in with a massive boot before the former WWE star hit a slingshot cutter, followed by a shading shooting star. The match briefly swirled out to the outside. When the action headed back into the ring, Pac caught Nick Jackson with a German suplex. More back and forth ensued, and Matt Jackson tagged back in. Pac then hit Matt Jackson with a sit-out powerbomb and tagged in Penta. The Luchador hit Matt Jackson with a destroyer as both men traded strikes. Referee Rick Knox was taken out with a finger to the eye before Nick Jackson took off Penta's mask before he had a second one underneath. The Death Triangle member hit Nick Jackson with a fear factor and tagged in Pac. Pac hit the Black Arrow and went for the cover, but Matt Jackson broke it up. With the referee distracted, Pac headed to the top rope. Brandon Cutler smashed him from behind with the camera. Matt Jackson quickly stacked up Pac for the win, and the Young Bucks continued to attack Pac and Penta after the match until Kingston made the save. I'll go with a 7 out of 10. Really entertaining match to kick off the show. Henry then said he wasn't here to fix AEW because it was not broken. The WWE Hall of Famer said he was here to help younger stars. When asked if he would get back in the ring, Mark Henry didn't say yes, but he didn't say no either. Before Vicky Guerrero then came out and got Mark Henry and Tony Schiavone out of the ring, she introduced her new client, Andrade. Andrade took the mic and said that he was there to be the new face of AEW. I'm just absolutely buzzing to see Andrade in AEW. He's such a big star. So good. He's going to do great things there, and some of the dream matches, I just don't even want to get into it. But anyway, next up we got Rhodes and Johnson versus QT Marshall and Ogogo. Lee Johnson and QT Marshall started things off before Johnson got in a hammerlock and quickly tagged out. Cody came in, walked over QT and tagged out. Marshall took Johnson out and dragged himself out before Cody and Ogogo briefly went back and forth before they were both tagged back out. Marshall took down Johnson at ringside and tagged Ogogo back in. The former Olympian and QT were all over Lee Johnson during the break. Lee Johnson was finally tagged out. Cody came into the hot tag and took the fight to QT Marshall, raining down right hands in the corner. Cody followed out with a monkey flip and then a power slam. He then locked in the figure 4 leg lock before Ogogo broke up the hold with a splash from the top rope. QT Marshall then replied with a diamond cutter and went for the pin, only for Johnson to break it up. Alan Solo came out to make distraction at this point as Cody set up for the crossroads on QT Marshall. Ogogo blindsided him with a right hand to the jaw. QT quickly got the cover and got the win. I'm going to 6.5 out of 10. The match's quality was about a 6 out of 10. You can tell that he's still got more work to do, Ogogo, to be really great, but that's of course what you'd expect. I'm just pleased Ogogo got his win back, which is why I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. Inner Circle were out next, celebrating their victory from Double or Nothing. Chris Jericho announced that everyone in the crowd had a free Inner Circle t-shirt. The Demo God then handed the mic to the hero of the match, Sammy Guevara. Sammy recalled how he used to hit the 630 splash off the top rope of his roof at his home. He then thanked everyone for the support. Santana took the mic and called out FTR for pile driving him and Ortiz through the tables and trying to end their careers. Hager then processed to send a warning to Wardlow, challenging him to an MMA cage fight in 2 weeks. Can't wait for that. Jericho followed suit and called out MJF for pushing off the top of Blood and Guts. He said that even though he gave the Pinnacle leader a beating, the feud wasn't over. Chris Jericho then said that he needed to beat MJF. He reiterated the war between Inner Circle and the Pinnacle isn't over yet. I kind of expected it to continue, but at least we're getting a singles match now rather than just another massive big multi-man match. Then time for Jungle Boy and Christian Cage versus Private Party. Jungle Boy started things off in impressive fashion on Dynamite. The match spilled out to ringside quickly, and Jurassic Express member held both members of Private Party off. He then headed to the top rope but ate an anti-air from Mark Quinn on his way down. Despite this setback, Jungle Boy continued to avoid Private Party's offense and tugged in Cage. Christian was all over Isaiah Cassidy, giving him everything he had. With referee Aubrey was distracted, Mark Quinn took Christian down, giving Cassidy the chance to capitalise. Private Party were all over the legend during the outbreak, keeping the pressure on Christian. Jungle Boy finally tagged in and he took out Cassidy before focusing on Mark Quinn. The Private Party member was reeling from Jungle Boy's quickfire offense, eating a spinning DDT. He was unlocked in the snare trap, but Cassidy broke it. Christian then went up for a dive at Cassidy, but Matt Hardy pulled his protege out. Hardy then got a thumb to the eye, Jungle Boy, but Quinn couldn't put him away. Private Party tried to hit Gin and Juice, but Christian took out Cassidy. Jungle Boy then locked in the snare trap on Mark Quinn to eventually get the win. After the match, Christian was laid out courtesy of the twist of fate from Hardy. I'm going to give it 6 out of 10. This was just a great match. Kind of just felt like preparing Jungle Boy for his title match next week. But yeah, Jungle Boy just looks so good. I just can't wait for that match next weekend. It's going to be a banger. King said that despite everything he's done in his AEW career, AEW Double or Nothing was a night he would never forget. The Icon was met with "You Still Got It" chants from fans inside Daily's place. Sting still thanked fans before he was interrupted by Sky and Page, who appeared on the screen. Sky said he now knew why Sting was known as the Icon. He said that the Hall of Fame was so good that he dragged Darby Allin to the finish line. Page added that he already saw that Sting was carrying Darby Allin throughout the match. Allin was then challenged to find any other partner and beat them. Yeah, this was an interesting one. I kind of want to reserve judgment until we see where it goes. Before we got Britt Baker out, we had a number of stars in the ring, as well as Schiavone. Britt Baker said the letters DMD would elevate AEW to the stratosphere. She kept her message brief before saying that she wanted to invite Schiavone and Rebel to grab a burger there to celebrate. Nia Rhodes was not a fan and celebrated the Rookers before leaving. Dr. Britt Baker was clearly unhappy and raged inside the ring. Kind of just usual championship celebration for a heel, really. Next up, it was the Bunny versus Red Velvet. Bunny tried to take Velvet down during her entrance before Velvet heard her coming and sidestepped, driving the Bunny into the ropes before taking her down and going for the pin. The Bunny got out of the pin and went to the outside. Velvet followed it up with a dangerous-looking suicide dive and almost landing face-first at ringside. The Bunny capitalised on this advantage, driving Red Velvet into the corner and followed it up with some nasty-looking strikes. Velvet fought back and got a 2 count off a sunset flip pin attempt. The Bunny did not look happy and laid into her opponent with boots to the spine. She then drove her boot into Red Velvet's neck before sending her face flat into the mat. Red Velvet exploded out of the corner with a flurry of clothesline. She followed it up with a rising knee strike in the corner, followed by a stunner for a near fall. Was the ref distracted, the Blade handed the Bunny a set of brass knuckles. Red Velvet avoided the strike and took the Bunny out with a spinning drop kick to get the win. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. It was a decent enough match. I just have fears. This is kind of the AEW going back to their old women's days, but we did get a promo earlier. 6 out of 10. It was a decent enough match. In our main event, it was Nick Camaredo versus Dustin Rhodes in a bull rope match. Never seen one of these before. Dustin Rhodes went after Nick Camaredo while he was in the ring. The two AEW stars brawled in the entrance ramp before making their way back into the ring. Both men continued to trade shots in the ring before Dustin hit clothesline, which dumped Rhodes into the AEW stars at ringside before the latter came up from behind, trying to choke him with a bull rope. Camaredo took a shot at Fuego del Sol, who was in ringside area. Fuego, who's close to Dustin Rhodes, jumped on Nick Camaredo from behind, only to get slatted away. Solo then tried to interfere and Dustin Rhodes took him out. Camaredo was bleeding by this point and he took down Rhodes and dragged him into the ring. The big man smashed a elbow into Dustin Rhodes' midsection, taking the veteran down. We then saw Solo set up a table at ringside and Camaredo and Rhodes brawled on the aprons. The factory member then powerbombed Dustin through the table. He then dragged the veteran back into the ring and got a near fall. Solo then tore the turnbuckle off in the corner as we saw Colton Gunn come out on even odds. Dustin Rhodes meanwhile hit Nick Camaredo with a final reckoning for the near fall. Dustin tried to take Camaredo out and expose the turnbuckle. He followed up with a shot to the head from the cowbell before going for the cover and getting the win. I'll give it 0 out of 10. This is a really entertaining match to end the show. Something different, but I really enjoyed it. All this week, AEW Dynamite gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Really enjoyed this show today. There was lots of different things on it. We got some serious stuff, we got some fun stuff like the main event, big debuts, Andrade debuting. So exciting for that. But on the whole, it's a really solid show. But anyway, guys, that's all for the video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, leave me your thoughts and comments down below, and follow me on Twitter, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, and subscribe to my channel right now. That would be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.